Shalom. All praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High. Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai Ba'asham, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, and salutations to all you sincere Akiam. And this is your brother Abawan back again with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai Ba'asham, Rakakwadash. All praises and glory is due, especially in the times that we're in. And while you two-third Negroes are busy arguing about whether the Gentiles can be saved or not, right? Your enemy, the devil, had will to sift you as wheat, as the scriptures say. Okay, this isn't the correct article. Let me go to this one right here. And here it is. Apple introduces digital ID, a new way to create and present an ID in Apple Wallet. Right, so another notch, another gear, another step closer in the gradualism towards the MOTB. That's exactly what this is, and we have been warning the men of the Lord, starting of course with the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, have been warning you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, the scattered Israelites that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. We have been warning you about your adversary, the devil, right? The so-called red man, Esau, Edom. While you're sitting in front of the camera, crying about how, oh, we need to love Esau, Edom. We need to show love for our brethren. Oh, why are you Hebrew Israelites? Why are you black Israelites? Why are you Israelites? Oh, quote unquote. Why are you Israelites filled with so much hate? Why do you hate the white man so much? Blah blah blah. And then this is what your adversary, the devil, right? The so-called white man is doing on the earth, while you jakes are busy arguing on your folly and bug out doctrines. Right, so let's keep going into it. And just like I said, like I said, we've been warning you Israelites about this for decades now, starting of course with the elder apostles on down, right? The digital ID, which is basically the gradualism towards the MOTB, which is the RFID implantable microchip. So now you can even have your digital ID on your phone, the same way you can make payments with your phone, the same way you can store all your credentials and keys in your phone, the same way you can use your phone to unlock your vehicle, right? And this is basically, moving towards the Internet of Things, right? The IoT, the Internet of Things. That's why people have smart bulbs, smart fridge, smart speaker, right? And all these other forms of technology that can connect to the internet in their homes, because that is what the gradualism towards the MOTB truly is about, right? Connecting your entire life to the C heap, so that it will be way more easier for Esau to just simply disconnect you, right? So, but that's going too far ahead. Let's focus on this right here, okay? And I will read some of the article and get some precepts, of course. Digital ID offers a secure and private way for users to create an ID in Apple Wallet using information from their US passports and present their ID with iPhone or Apple Watch. And it's funny that one of the sales pitches that Esau Edom is using for digital ID security, when we know that these corporations, right, these companies, these Silicon Valley tech bro companies are infamous for their massive leaks, okay, and getting hacked, and massive amounts of information getting leaked, and then those informations getting sold to scammers and advertise, and really, but it's mainly scammers, man, online. That's why every once in a while, if you have a Google phone, they will tell you about how, oh, the saved password you have has been breached, or they'll tell you about how, oh, your password is too weak, your password was found in a recent data breach, right? Because it's something that consistently happens, right? So this is not very secure. But of course, Esau won't tell you about that part, right? They'll push it as a safe, secure way to store your credentials and your ID information? What if it's impossible for you to, you know, show your ID? What if ICE comes, and breaks into your home if you're an immigrant, but you don't have any identification? You're unable to retrieve your papers in time. So what can you do, right? Well, with this new digital ID technology, your papers, right, and your IDs on your phone, and that's basically a possible angle that ISO can use to push, right, the MOTB and the digital ID by basically by basically sea-hipping immigrants, man, and giving them instant citizenship for receiving the sea-hip. I can definitely see this devil pulling something like that. But that's like I said, going too far ahead. Right now, what Esau is doing is that he has put the digital ID information and integrated it with Apple technology, right, with the iPhone, and eventually the Android, right, the other phone OSs will follow as well. And this is something that has already even taken place in China, right? In somewhere like China, for example, your digital ID is connected to your online social media internet ID, because that's really what this is about. The same way that you have in the UK, that are basically mandating that everybody should have a digital ID, right? Because what they are trying to do, okay, is that they are trying to create that basically creates that what's the word I'm looking for? What's what I'm looking for? They are trying to create that surveillance, right? Create that so basically just that create that surveillance on you to be able to watch your every move and every step. Okay, so it starts with an iPhone with all your credentials in it, and then it progresses gradually, moves on to, because that's gradualism, right? Well, not gradually, but speedily, right? Because it's gradualism, moves on to the MOTB. So now the MOTB has the digital ID information, has the other identifications and credential keys, and so on and so forth. Okay, and now it can be implanted on your right hand, right, or on your forehead for the brain implant technology, which also is the MOTB, right? And now, the devil will obviously come out again and say, oh, this is the most secure and easiest way to basically keep this new, to basically keep all your information safe. And of course, right, the infrastructure for the MOTB would already be put in place. So now you can just simply swipe your hand to enter your house, swipe your hand to go to work and get your UBI, right? So you owe nothing and be happy, right? Swipe to open up your car and get it running, right? And basically that's what is coming. Okay, this is just another sign right here that we're already in those times, and this devil, right, is still trying to push for, right, the MOTB. So Apple today announced the launch of Digital ID, a new way for users to create an ID in Apple Wallet using information from their US passports and present it with the security and privacy of iPhone or Apple Watch. At launch, Digital ID acceptance will roll out first in beta at TSA checkpoints at more than 250 airports in the US for in-person identity verification during domestic travel, adding with the additional digital ID acceptance use cases to come in the future. Right, so even the airports are beginning to, right, even the airports are going to, at least domestic flights are going to be able to take this Apple digital ID as confirmation of your identity. And if I recall correctly, something happened. I believe it was either earlier or in the middle of the year, where you needed a certain document in order to fly in Babylon. I forgot what they called it, right? What do they call? I forgot what they called it, but that's another example of what's happening right here. As the scriptures say, right, no man shall buy or sell, right? So in other words, not be able to partake in the economy, right? The capitalistic, okay, because that is what capitalism, which is basically your economic and social and political system that is set up in Babylon the Great and all over the earth. Capitalism, and one of the key tenants, right? The key factors of capitalism is buying and selling, and no man shall buy or sell. In other words, no man will be able to partake in the system. No man will be able to join himself with the beast system. Revelation 13, and I'll start from verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Right? And that's, like I said, the buying and selling represents, being a part of this economy, the constant commerce, right? And the constant commerce and transactions that go on a daily basis in this kingdom. And you will not be able to partake of that, right? The time is coming for that, without having the sea heap either in your right hand or in your forehead. And of course, we are not yet at that time, but we already know what the end game is, and we are warning our people as well. This is the end game for Esau Edom. This is what Esau Edom is moving towards, okay? The MOTB, and you will be unable to partake in Esau's system unless you receive that mark. And a lot of you people that are in the world, eventually going to have to receive the mark, right? Because you don't have that foundation in the Most High, Yahweh Sham Shai, to be able to endure until the end, to be able to, keep thy faith, right? Even in time of tribulation, which even in time of tribulation. So now let's go back to this article right here, because still have so much more to say, man. This is your gradualism towards the MOTB, and now the digital ID is slowly being phased into America, Babylon the Great, the rest of the world, right? More places than not have already accepted the whole idea of digital ID. That's already become somewhat, mandatory, right? Somewhat, what's what I'm looking for? A part of the financial systems in a lot of other parts of the world. Okay, and that's just Esau's little way of sneaking in, right, his true intentions, which is basically the MOTB forcing the entire planet to receive the mark. In other words, to take the sea heap. And that's what these devils believe, that will grant them success in this kingdom, right? But we are so I end it right there. Once again, all praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High, Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahweh Ba'asham, Rakakwadash. Wa about Babal, and through the spirits of Yakiam and Joaquas were edified. Shalom.